I'm Mylene Hillam. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your own small moulds with ETI's EasyMold Silicone Putty. EasyMold Silicone Putty is a non-toxic two-part moulding material that reproduces excellent detail. With silicone putty, you can make small moulds in just minutes. They are ideal for use with Cast & Craft's clear casting resin, clear cast epoxy resin, and fast cast urethane resin. They are also suitable for many other materials including plaster, concrete, wax, soap, low melt metals, and air dry clay. EasyMold Silicone Putty is FDA compliant, so moulds made with silicone putty can also be used in the kitchen for baking, making chocolates and candies, and even ice cubes. To make a mould with silicone putty, all you need is EasyMold Silicone Putty and a small object to mould. EasyMold Silicone Putty has 3 minutes of working time at 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius, so you'll need to work quickly. Measure out equal quantities of parts A and B either by volume or weight. A simple way to do this is to roll each component into a ball and sit them side by side to check that they are the same size. Alternatively, you can use a scale to weigh the components. Mix the two components together until they're swirl-free and uniform in colour. This will take about a minute. Roll the kneaded silicone putty into a ball and then flatten it a little. Now you can either press the object into the putty and work it around the object to form a mould, or you can apply the putty to the object to form the mould. Leave the object in the silicone putty to cure for 25 minutes. You can test to see if it's ready by pressing your nail into the mould. If it leaves an impression, the mould needs longer to cure. If no impression is left, you can safely remove the object by peeling the silicone away from the object on all sides. Your new mould is now ready to be used. If you wish to cast resin, plaster or concrete in the mould, you'll need to leave it to cure fully for 24 hours before using. Alternatively, you can heat cure the mould in a regular oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 149 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. EasyMold Silicone Putty moulds generally don't require the use of a spray release, but spraying your mould with a release agent such as Cast & Craft's Mould Release and Conditioner will extend the mould's life. Food-type moulds must never be sprayed with Mould Release and Conditioner. Moulds used for foodstuffs should be clearly marked and only ever used for food. Once a mould has been used for non-food applications, it will be contaminated and should never be used for anything edible. Silicone putty moulds can withstand temperatures of up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius. Here are some ideas of how you can put your silicone putty moulds to use. The mould I've made from the lid of this trinket box will make a lovely cake of soap. I've dusted the mould lightly with iridescent mica powder before pouring melt and pour soap into the mould. Here I'm using silicone putty to make several identical pieces which I'll link together to create a cosplay necklace. I'm filling these moulds with Cast & Craft fast cast resin. I've made my own mould mats using a variety of textures found around the home. Pressing or rolling polymer clay onto the texture mats picks up the detail perfectly. Just piece the textures together to cover a wooden letter and then bake in an oven. I'm filling the mould I made earlier in the video with a sugar syrup. And painting the edges with edible gold paint to create luminous geodes to top these cupcakes. There are many more materials which can be mixed and poured or kneaded and pushed into silicone putty moulds. The only limit to what you can cast from them is your imagination.